Now coming to the miscellaneous topic in endocrine physiology, that is the calcium homeostasis. This calcium homeostasis is done with the help of various hormones. That's why we are discussing this in the endocrine physiology. It is primarily it is under the control of three different hormones. The hormones include parathormone, the most important hormone, then vitamin D, then calcitonin. I hope you guys remember about our calcitonin story. What is the calcitonin doing? It was secreted by the C cells, that is the parafollicular C cells of the thyroid. It is secreted by the thyroid only. And what is its most important function? Calcitonin, I told you, it is a calcium lowering hormone. So what does it do? It decreases the blood calcium level. That is the one it is doing. It decreases the blood calcium level. We'll see how it does. But the other two hormones, so we have grouped them here. The other two we have grouped together. So what is their function? These two will increase the calcium levels in blood. And parathormone is the one which is produced from parathyroids, and vitamin D is produced by the kidneys. So now let's discuss about their individual actions. And all these hormones will act in three different places. That is the bone, GIT and kidney. They are going to act in three different places. The parathormone will act in all three places. For example, what is the action of parathormone on the bone? It causes bone resorption. It is eroding the bone. Parathormone, it is eroding the bone. So both the calcium and the phosphate in the blood will increase. Both of them will increase because it is eroding and bone has calcium and phosphate. Then in the GIT also, it increases the absorption of calcium. So basically calcium is being reabsorbed and sent into the blood. In the kidneys also there is increased reabsorption of calcium. But note one point very important, that is it is causing excretion of phosphate. This parathormone, whenever it is acting on the kidneys, it is causing excretion of phosphate. So one area it is increasing the phosphate in blood, one area it is decreasing the phosphate in the blood. Who wins? That is the question. This person wins. The parathormone action on the kidney wins, and usually the excretion is more than the increase in the blood. So what is the final action of parathormone? Calcium, it's a no-brainer. Everywhere it is increasing. So increases the calcium in blood. And what about phosphate? Its excretion is more. So it decreases the phosphate levels in blood. So that is what is the final destination for the parathormone. So parathormone final action, you just remember, increase in calcium, decrease in phosphate. Now coming to vitamin D. Vitamin D, it also acts on three places: the bone, GIT and kidney. In the bone, it causes resorption of calcium and phosphate. So more and more calcium and phosphate will come to the blood. And it also causes in the GIT, it is causing reabsorption of calcium. That is more and more reabsorption, more and more in the blood. And in the kidney also, it causes reabsorption of calcium. Not only that, it causes reabsorption of phosphate also. Whereas parathormone was causing excretion of phosphate. But here, this vitamin D causes increased reabsorption from the kidneys also. So now it's a no-brainer. Vitamin D, the final one is there is increase in calcium in blood plus increase in phosphate in blood. So both will be increased in the blood. That's why we saw in the initial two things itself, parathormone and vitamin D, they increase the calcium levels in the blood. And coming to the final hormone, that is calcitonin. Calcitonin, already we saw its function. It acts on the bone and decreases the osteoclastic activity. Whereas above two hormones was increasing the osteoclastic activity or the bone resorption. So they decrease the osteoclastic activity. So there is a decreased calcium extraction from the bone to blood. So bone to blood is not happening. Then second thing is there is an increase in deposition in the bone. So from the blood calcium, it is going and depositing in the bone. It does not have actions in other places like the GIT or the kidney. Its major action is only in the bone. So that's why the final calcitonin action, it is also called as the calcium lowering hormone, and it decreases the blood calcium levels. So two hormones are increasing the blood calcium, parathormone, vitamin D. One is decreasing the blood calcium. So this is all about the calcium homeostasis. And this brings us to the end of endocrine physiology. Thank you.